Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Code with AKJ. Today is day 58 of solving Lead Code 75 challenge, and today's problem is combination sum 3, which is the last problem from backtracking chapter. So before we start, if you enjoyed this playlist, make sure you like this video, comment if you have any doubts, share with your friends who are preparing for interviews, and subscribe to the channel for regular coding content. So now let's quickly understand this problem. So the problem statement says find all valid combinations of k numbers that sum up to n such that the following conditions are true. Only numbers 1 through 9 are used. Each number is used at most once. So return a list of all possible valid combinations. The list must not contain the same combination twice, and the combinations may be returned in any order. So we are given two integers, that is k, which is the number of elements, and n, which is the required sum. And we need to find all the combinations of k numbers such that only 1 to 9 numbers are used, and each number can be used at most once, and the sum of selected numbers must be equal to n, which is our target value. And we must return all possible valid combinations. So let's quickly see this given example where k value is 3 and n value is 9. So valid combinations are 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5 and 2, 3, 4. Because each of them uses 3 numbers and the sum is 9. Coming to the first example, we need to use 3 numbers and the target sum is 7. So the only valid combination for this given target value 7 is 1, 2 and 4. So we'll return combination. So coming to the third example, we can use 4 numbers and the target value should be 1. But in this case there are no valid combinations because using 4 different numbers in the range 1 to 9 would not give our target sum 1. The smallest sum we can get by using 4 numbers is 10, and since 10 is greater than 1 there are no valid combinations. So this is all about the problem statement. So let's quickly go through our brute force approach. So let's think of the most straightforward approach. So since numbers are allowed from 1 to 9, we could generate all the possible subsets of the numbers from 1 to 9, and then we'll check each and every subset that does it contains exactly k elements, and the next condition we'll check is the sum is equals to 9. So for suppose k value is 3, n value is 7. So we'll generate subsets for all the numbers from 1 to 9, and we'll check whether the size of the subset is equals to k, as well as the sum of that subset should be equal to n. So if both conditions are satisfied, we'll add it to the answer and we'll return that answer vector. So that is our most straightforward approach. So this is basically subset generation, and since each number can either be taken or not taken, total subsets become 2 power 9, which is 512 subsets. In this approach we'll be generating all these 512 subsets, and we'll check each and every subset, their size which should be equal to k and their sum which should be equal to n. And if both these conditions will satisfy, we'll insert that subset inside our answer vector, and finally we'll return that answer vector. Coming to the time complexity of this approach, so subset generation would take 2 power 9 time complexity, and checking sum would take O of k time complexity. So overall time complexity here would be O of 2 power 9 cross k. And coming to the space complexity, since we are using recursion for generating all our subsets, the recursive stack would take O of 9. This is all about our first approach, which is the most straightforward approach, where we are generating the subsets from numbers 1 to 9, and we are checking that subset whether it is satisfying these two conditions, whether the size of our subset should be equal to k and the sum of our subset should be equal to n. And if these two conditions satisfy, we'll insert that subset inside our answer vector and we'll return that answer vector. So let's quickly code this approach and let's submit. So here's the code for our brute force approach. So since we need to return 2-day vector, I've declared our answer vector globally. So we'll start with taking our current vector, which would take the current subset values inside it, and then we'll call our generate function, which would take each and every number and it will form a subset. Parallelly, it will check the size of our subset as well as the sum. So we'll pass the value since the allowed numbers are from 1 to 9. So we'll start with value 1. We'll send k value, n value and our current vector. So the generate function goes like this. After the num value goes beyond 9, we'll check these two conditions. That is, so if it is equal to k, it satisfies our first condition. Now we'll check the second condition, which is the sum of our current subset should be equal to n. So we'll calculate the sum by taking the sum variable, which is equal to 0 initially, and we'll calculate the sum of our current subset. So if sum is also equals to n, so this is our valid combination now. So we'll insert this current subset, which is present in the form of current vector, inside our answer vector, and we'll return from that particular call. This would be our base condition, and generally to generate all the subsets for a particular number, we'll follow this pick not pick principle, where we have two options: either to pick this current value inside our subset or to ignore that value inside our current subset. So if we pick this current value inside our subset, we'll push this current num value inside our current vector, and we'll again call this generate function by incrementing our num value with 1. And in the same way, we'll move on with our calls, and if we reach this base case and we'll find a valid combination, then we'll insert this current vector inside our answer vector. And if not, we will try to remove these values from our current vector by using popback function. And the second option here is to not pick this current value, and we'll move on with the next values by incrementing our num value. So this is how we'll generate each and every subset, and we'll check these two conditions, whether the current subset size is equals to k, as well as the sum of that current subset should be equal to n. So let's quickly run this code. Yeah, it's working. So let's submit. As you can see, this gives us successful submission, but the time complexity of this approach is O of 2 power 9 cross k, which is highly inefficient for larger values of k as well as n. So let's discuss why this approach is not ideal, and we'll move on to our optimal approach, where we'll be using backtracking approach to solve this problem optimally. So why this approach is not ideal? Because although phi-12 subsets are manageable, this particular approach has many problems. So one of the problem is we are exploring many invalid possibilities, such as combinations with more than k numbers. So we have many subsets in those phi-12 subsets where the size of k is greater than our k value, and we are also checking those combinations whose sum already exceeds our n value. So we are trying to check all these invalid combinations in order to find our valid combinations. So we waste a lot of unnecessary computation. So instead, we should stop exploring early whenever a path becomes invalid. So this idea leads us to the backtracking approach, where whenever we find a path which becomes invalid, we'll stop exploring, backtrack from that particular path. So let's move on to our optimal approach, which is backtracking. So backtracking is basically pruning invalid paths early. So while constructing these combinations, we'll track the current combination, the current sum, as well as the next number to pick. So at each and every step, we'll check if the current size is greater than k or the current sum is greater than n. So if we find any of these condition, then we'll immediately stop exploring that branch and will return from that branch. So this prevents unnecessary recursion, and will get all the possible valid combinations in less computation. So the idea here is we try numbers from 1 to 9 as usual. For every number, we'll choose the number which is our first step, and second step here is to reduce that number from our sum, and our third step here would be to move to the next number, since repetition is not allowed. So we'll follow these three steps, and whenever we find a size which is equals to k and sum which is equals to n, add that particular path which is our current valid combination inside our answer vector, and at the end we'll return this answer vector. So this is the idea of our backtracking approach. So coming to the time complexity here would be O of combination of 9 comma k, which is generally 9ck, and coming to the space complexity, it would be O of k because of recursive depth. So let's do a quick dry run on our first example to understand how backtracking approach works. So let's do a quick dry run on these two given examples. So the first example here is the k value is 3 and n value is 7. The allowed numbers which we are going to use are from 1 to 9. The current subset would start from the value 1. So the current subset would contain value 1, and at the same time we'll reduce this value from our target, which is 7. So 7 becomes 6. We'll move on to the next call, and we'll add this next number inside our subset, which is 2, and we'll reduce this number from our value n, which is 6 minus 2, which becomes 4. And we'll move on to the next call by adding the next value inside our subset, which is 3, and we'll reduce this value from our n value, which is 4 minus 3, 1. And now we can see that we have reached the base case, which is the current subset size becomes 3, but n value is not equals to 0, which means this is not a valid combination. So since this is not a valid combination, we'll try to remove this value from our current subset. We'll pop this value from our current subset and we'll try to check the next value. So we'll try to add the next value, which is 4. Now again we have reached our base case, which is the current subset size becomes k, which is 3. And now we'll try to reduce this value from our target value. So from 4, reduce 4, sum which is n becomes 0. So hence current subset size becomes k value and n values is also equals to 0, which means this is a valid combination. So we'll push this current subset inside our answer vector. We'll return this answer vector. So for this given example, 1 to 4 will be our valid combination. In the same way, we'll do this dry run for this given example. The same way, we'll start from 1 and we'll reduce this value from our n value, which is 9 minus 1, which becomes 8. Again, we'll take 2. We'll remove 2 from the sum, which gives us 6. And again, we'll take value 3, which will reduce from our sum, which becomes 3. And since we have reached one of our base condition, the sum, which is n, is not equals to 0, so this is not a valid combination. So we'll remove the lastmost value from our current subset and we'll try to check with other values from 1 to 9. So since 1 and 2 is already used, we'll try to check with 4. Reduce this value from our sum. So 6 minus 4 would become 2. And since n is still not equal to 0, this is also not a valid combination. Again, we'll remove the lastmost value from our current subset and we'll include the next value, which is 1, 2, and 5. So 6 minus 5, which becomes 1, still n is not equals to 0. So this subset is also not a valid combination. In the same way, we'll try to add the next number, which is 1, 2, and 6. And the n value becomes 6 minus 6, which becomes 0. So hence the current subset size is equals to k, as well as the n values is equals to 0, which means this is our valid combination. So we'll insert this current subset inside our answer vector. So in the same way, if you try to explore few more combinations, we will get other two combinations for this given example, which would be 1, 3, 5 and 2, 3, and 4. So these would be the two other valid combinations for this given example. Here 6 plus 2 plus 1 would give us 9, 5 plus 3 plus 1 would give us 9, and 4 plus 3 plus 2 would give us 9. So for this given example, we have three valid combinations, which is 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5, and 2, 3, 4. So in this way, our backtracking approach works. We have already discussed time and space complexity of this approach, which is combination of n comma k, which is 9ck, and coming to the space complexity, it would be linear, which is O of k. So let's quickly move on to our code and let's submit. So here's the code for our optimal approach. Again, we have declared our answer vector globally and we have given a function call to solve, sending 1, k, n, and current vector, which would store the values in the current subset. So the solve function goes like this. The base case here is that if the current size is equals to k and n value becomes 0, we'll push that current subset inside our answer vector and return from that path. So this base case would help us prevent exploring invalid combinations where we'll check whether the current size is greater than k or n value becomes negative. So we'll return from that path because these paths are invalid combinations. And next we'll run a loop from that particular start value till n, and we'll keep on adding values from that starting point till the value 9. We will keep on pushing that value inside our current subset and we'll give a function call for the next number. And if we have found a valid combination, we'll push that current set inside our answer vector. And if not, we'll remove those values out of our set using popback function. And after finishing this loop, we'll have all our valid combinations inside our answer vector and we'll return that answer vector from our main function. So this is the code for our optimal approach, and this is the main line for our backtracking. So let's quickly run this code. Yeah, it's working. So let's submit. As you can see, this approach also gives us successful submission, but in this approach, we have optimized the time complexity and space complexity as well, which is much smaller than brute force approach because we have pruned invalid paths early with the help of this particular base condition. So the important ideas from this problem we can learn here is about the combination generation, backtracking with pruning, and avoiding unnecessary recursion. So these patterns are very common in coding interviews. And if you found this explanation helpful, like this video, comment if you have questions, share with your friends preparing for interviews, and subscribe to the channel for daily coding content. So that's it for today's problem, which is combination sum 3. And with this problem, we have completed the backtrack chapter, which generally contains two problems, letter combinations of a phone number and combination sum 3. So in the next video, we'll start a new chapter, that is dynamic programming 1D, which is extremely important for interviews. So stay tuned for that. Until then, keep coding, keep growing. Thank you.